welcome back to the channel and the vlog here. I thought we would do a little bit of a different venue. I hope the sun isn't too bad behind me like that, but I think it's kind of a cool shot. I don't know, it might be kind of annoying. We might do like this, but anyway, Central Park behind me. Just waiting to go to a reception for where it all began for me, Syracuse University, where I first began to formally study rhetoric. Of course, before that, I was studying it as a high school debate teacher, speech teacher, history teacher. Where are the limits of rhetoric? Might be a good question to think about tonight. Let's go back to the start of it all. Was that where I started to study rhetoric, or was I always doing it and that's just a formal introduction of it? I don't know, but this time of year and coming to this event, it's been pre-pandemic since I've been to this alumni reception. Always a good time and always a good opportunity to think about rhetorical education, and that's what I wanted to speak about in this short video. Today, my classical rhetoric course, we're reading about quintillion and about Roman hexis, or the control of the body, as a way of teaching rhetoric, bodily control. So the difference between persuasion and seduction for the Romans was seduction was sort of a natural, uncontrolled, slavish, and feminine form of manipulation, whereas men had the practice and the hexis, the bodily control, to engage in oratory, which is the better form of rhetoric or persuasion, because it was intended and disciplined and it was meant to happen. It wasn't part of natural or uncontrolled emotion. So that got me thinking about the rhetorical curriculum. Is it possible to teach rhetorical curriculum and not have it have this conservative sort of film all over it of not just teaching how to speak and how to change things, but I'm also teaching you how to be someone who can speak, how to be someone who is listened to, how to be someone whose arguments make sense. I am in the position of an arguer. This is very Foucauldian, right, too, at the same time, but I was thinking about it in terms of Quintilian and Seneca and some of those critiques of Cicero that they had of him being too eloquent, too ornate for their time period, but good in his own time period, that the identity of being a Roman had changed. And the identity of being whatever you might identify as is marked through performance. So that got me asking my class about the charlatan. How do you know that someone is a charlatan if all identities and all ethos is connected to this idea of speaking who you are into being? So that's a kind of an important crisis point for rhetoric. So is it possible to teach rhetoric and not teach a kind of a bodily, disciplinary, conservative way of speaking? It's baked in. There might not be any escape. If you want to speak radically, one has to do it in a way to where you're recognized as an authentic speaker. That is, in our culture right now, America, 21st century, New York City, that would be rational arguments. Do I sound like I'm being reasonable? Now, sounding like you're being reasonable, you have to be a particular kind of performance to say, I am offering arguments to you and offering persuasion to you that you can think about, that you can assent to. To me, that is a level of conservatism that might not be escapable to really offer radical argumentation. Most political argumentation, we think of really good resistant argument is we have a capacity to take it in because we're well trained for what good speech, including radical speech, should look like. How do you break out of that mold? This might border on a rhetorical aporia or an unsolvable dilemma. I don't know. What do you think? You should let me know down in the comments. Boy, it's kind of chilly out here. I changed the film quality, so see if you like this better. I've been shooting in 4K. This video is not in 4K because I wanted to shoot something that maybe took a little bit less power away from the old GoPro here and gave me a little bit more room and a little bit more space, and maybe make the processing time a little bit faster. But hopefully you haven't noticed the quality difference until I just pointed it out. Maybe it's not so bad. But yep, tonight I'm gonna have a chat with some rhetoricians, have a couple of drinks, and think about rhetoric's kind of gravity back towards being conservative. If I'm going to be a recognized good speaker, I have to act like that. If I don't act like that, if I don't display emotion in a recognizable way, if I don't explain evidence and reason in a recognizable way, then I'll just be considered crazy. I won't be able to have purchase on my radical ideas. So that's what's on my mind today. That's what I was thinking about, is, I guess we call it rhetoric. It's the closest thing we get to a rhetorical aporia. In other news, I found out somebody quoted my blog in a session on ChatGPT on the other side of the country. That was kind of cool to learn about. So check out the blog. I need to post on there more than as much as I do this. It just seems like, for me as a rhetorician, the oral is just so much easier to do. So I like turning on the camera and just saying what I'm thinking in kind of short bursts like this. I think it's pretty decent. But anyway, I think that's it for this episode. Like, comment, subscribe as always, and there's plenty more Daily Doxa videos and other videos for you to watch. You guys have really been enjoying the American debate tour from 2009 versus Sophia University in Japan. You guys really like that debate. People are watching the hell out of that, so go watch the debate. And I'm going to put up some other videos from class. I've been recording a lot of my classes. I just have to edit those and put up some clips from that. So read the blog, watch the vlog, watch some of the other videos on the channel, and I will see you in the next episode.